Life in Sonderville, Erin Chapter 3A, New Lab Rat.
That was a scream. Sounded like an old woman. She could be hurt. Don't worry. I'm coming for you. I hope they're all right. What was that?
There's someone out here. Okay, can't see. Where's my bin? Ah, here we go. Now where is my... Ta-da! Trusty aluminum bat. All right, let's go meet the new neighbors. Hello? Is anyone there? Okay, I've got no patience for this tonight. None. Zero. If someone is there, I would graciously advise you to either get away from my property or get your goddamn skull caved in. I hear you. Come out. Now. I will give you to the count of 3 until I come back there. 1. I was a pinch hitter in high school. 2. Last chance. 3! That was only strike 1, you coward! Ugh. All right, that's it. I've had enough of tonight. I'm going to bed. Oh, the lights. Great. I'm sure that old woman is fine. One more thing before bed. Where's my notepad? Ah, here we go. Buy a gun. Well, good night to me. Oh no, I overslept. Damn it. Oh, I don't even have time to eat. Just change and go. Come on, Erin, it's just like exams week. Except you're not hungover. This'll be a cakewalk. Ready? Bet you can get to the lab in under 5 minutes? Hell yeah, let's go. What's this? Good morning, Dr. Barrett. You're late. Report to the Circo immediately. Cade. Oh, god damn it. I don't know where that is. Just get to the lab, explain what happened. No big deal. Made it! Whoa, what is going on? Excuse me, hello?
Sorry, ma'am, I'm gonna have to ask you to leave. This is a crime scene.
What happened? I work here.
Is that so?
Sheriff, Edmund is on his way from the Hello. Who are you?
Erin Barrett. I work at Kelleher Labs. Well, I just started.
I see. Clarissa Carmichael.
Nice to meet you.
I am...
Mayor Carmichael, you got in touch with Edmund.
Mayor?
Yes, I was getting to that. Miss Barrett, you said?
Yes, Erin Barrett.
Miss Barrett, this is Oscar Maddock. He is the sheriff. See, Oscar? This is how you properly introduce yourself to people.
With all due respect, I have work to do, Mayor.
If something goes awry in your investigation, you can mend it with proper work. You only have one chance at a first impression.
Well, how do you do, Miss Barrett? Like that?
Good, though it could have been better. Notice now, I'll only say that once because if I had to evaluate everything you do, the utter repetition of that phrase would drive me to insanity.
Yeah, quite a first impression you're making.
I'm the mayor.
If either of you could point me to the direction of the Circo, I'd greatly appreciate it.
Hold on, you work here, right?
Yes.
And for how long have you been employed?
I was offered the position last week, but I wasn't actually set to start until today.
She just started. That's what she said when she introduced herself.
Mayor Carmichael, it may be your job to mingle with all 150 residents here, but it's my job to keep them safe. I will do so most efficiently if my investigation continues uninterrupted.
Be my guest.
Thank you. Miss Barrett, how much time have you actually spent in the lab?
I was only in for a few minutes last night. I met with Professor Kelleher and Janine Cade.
Did you encounter any patients at that time?
No. Well...
Yes?
Last night, Janine went to go and get some keys and paperwork for me, and there was a patient who had apparently woken up and was screaming.
Did you see them?
No, they were in another room. Can I ask what happened?
One of the patients escaped last night. They attacked Professor Kelleher.
Is he okay?
Oh, yes, he's fine. He should be arriving any minute now.
I'm glad to hear that.
You said you met with Jeannie.
Miss Cade?
Oh, yeah. All grown up now. Yes, Janine.
Then yes.
Do you have any idea where she is now?
She left me a note on my door this morning. She told me to report to the Circo, so she might be there.
She leaves the lab.
Oscar, she's a good worker.
She is. A note, huh?
Yeah, she must have tried to get me this morning. Unfortunately, I slept through my alarm. I had a weird night.
Weird how?
Excuse me. Care to tell me what happened?
Well, it started with my phone ringing, and then there was a blackout.
Probably the old generator. I'm sorry, you do live in one of the older buildings, dear.
Yeah, that's likely. What happened
Then
next?
I heard this old woman scream.
Old woman?
Let her finish. If you care to continue, Miss Barrett.
Well, I figured I would go help her, but I heard this banging and rustling outside my apartment. I was already pretty riled up, so I grabbed my baseball bat and went to investigate. Someone was there, I could hear them. I gave them the count of 3. They didn't leave, so I started swinging. They ran off after that.
I don't want it to seem like I'm not impressed. I am. But next time, please call me. You do have the number to my office, right?
Yes, I do.
Good. Now, what do they look like?
I couldn't get a great look, but I think that they had...
Edmund, hello.
Sheriff? Mayor?
How you holding up, Professor?
Fine. Dr. Barrett, please go inside and meet with Jace. He's going to train you this morning.
It's 12:30.
Afternoon, whatever. Please report to Jace.
If you could give us one more moment, Professor, I'm just
I
finishing
don't
up
care.
with Erin here.
The world doesn't stop because some degenerate roughs me up a little.
Edmund, you had to get stitches.
There's work to be done. Dr. Barrett, Jace is inside. Please go and begin your training.
Professor, I still need answers for my
You'll get
investigation.
them from me, Dr. Barrett.
Right away, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Barrett.
It was a pleasure meeting you.
Erin?
Yes, Erin Barrett. How do you do?
Jace. I'm doing, well, you know, it's been a weird day. But come along. Professor told me since Cade isn't here, I was going to give you a little tour, get you familiar with the place.
Great. Oh, and thanks.
We haven't even started yet.
I mean for carrying in my luggage. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Did I break anything?
No, it's all in shipshape.
New record! I'm kidding, of course. I don't break stuff all the time. Well, most of the time. Well, let's get started. So, this is the lobby. You've seen this. You'll enter here every time you come to work. That was dumb.
You're doing great.
I usually just answer phones and do things Ms. Cade can't get to.
Which is...
So very little.
Well, why don't you show me where we hold the patients for evaluations?
Yes, I'll do that. Right this way. We have 2 different kinds of rooms for the patient sessions. These larger ones are for physicals. They have all the equipment here to evaluate the levels of physical stress and any hindrance in capabilities that may arise from their time in the prison. We also offer sessions specifically for rehabilitation.
Is there a high number of in-prison fights?
No, it's typically from the high levels of acrobatics that the prisoners are trained for.
Acrobatics?
Yeah, all the prisoners perform for the public, kind of like a circus. Well, I mean, that's what it is.
Why am I just hearing about this now?
Well, you were supposed to go there today, but... Well, these are the smaller rooms. They have overnight accommodations for patients who require overnight stays.
Where did the patient from last night stay?
What? Oh, I think in this one, here.
They cleaned this up pretty quickly.
Yeah, probably Miss Cade.
Who was the patient?
I probably shouldn't say. I don't work directly with the patient, so I feel like I shouldn't
Yes,
really
well, I will,
say.
and it's very likely that I did encounter them last night. You're not a doctor. There's no oath for you.
Yeah, duh, of course. Well, her name was Samantha. Sarah. Sasha. It was Sasha. Ms. Ickert. No one sickert than Miss Ickert. Sasha Ickert. That's how I remembered it.
Good job. What did she look like?
Not very tall, pretty. I mean, for a prisoner. Patient, not pretty. I can't say that. Plain, brunette, olive complexion. She was really pretty.
How did she get out?
Well, I think...
How is your tour coming along, Dr. Barrett?
Oh, hi, Professor.
It's going well. I was just asking Jace about the patient
Yes.
from last
Well,
night.
Jace, why don't you get back to the telephone? I expect by this time we should be getting some calls from the warden. I'll finish up Erin's tour.
You got it. Erin, it was great to meet you. I'm glad I didn't break anything.
What?
See ya.
He's a riot.
At that age, it's hard for a young man to do much of anything, but he tries his best.
Professor, do you mind if I ask what exactly happened last night?
Last night was a once-in-a-lifetime occurrence. I don't want you to feel like you're ever unsafe while working here. It was after hours, and so I had no third party for assistance. You'll never be without that while you're performing your evaluations.
I understand that, but I'm very
Great.
interested in
I have given Sheriff Maddock all the information he felt he needed, and I, for one, would like to move on. Is that satisfactory, Dr. Barrett?
Of course, Professor.
Great! Here, follow me this way.
Where to?
The future of Kelleher Labs. As the world of medicine and patient care grows, so must we. I want to show you our newest office. We have yet to officially reveal it, but I think you'll be particularly interested in it.
Certainly. What is it?
Since the majority of our patients are those with aggressive mental intricacies, we are developing our very own clinical research study facility. Here, please, step inside. It is within these 4 little walls that we will be able to determine the efficacy of bold and newly developed medications.
Fascinating.
It truly is. I had a feeling when I hired you, you would take a liking to this development.
I do. One of the reasons I got into this work was to be able to help rid the stigma behind medication. It breaks my heart to know that so many people go without help just because they fear it will make them look helpless.
Absolutely heartbreaking. But we are taking steps, the necessary steps towards a future where there is a drug that is suited specifically for every individual's needs.
That's really terrific news.
Isn't it? As a matter of fact... Well, why don't you...
Yes, Professor?
Why don't you take a seat at the computer?
Okay. Should I turn it on?
No. I'm just trying to get an idea of what it would look like if you were the head of our clinical research facility.
Are you serious? I haven't even had my first real day of work.
You'd have help, of course. These are not the personal psychological evaluations that you were hired to do, but I believe that you would be invaluable in this position.
Professor, I don't know
This would
that
be
I'm
very
qualified.
good for you. I don't just mean for the future of your career. Yes, it will be professionally fulfilling, but even more importantly, I have a sense that this could be a path for you to pioneer.
That's very enticing, but...
I am trying to fully personalize the kind of help that Kelleher Labs is able to offer, and that means getting competent workers into important positions. And to help free up Janine's schedule as much as possible so she can stick to what she's good at.
I don't know what to say.
How does a raise sound?
Already?
Of course! You'd be taking on a whole new series of duties that you were not previously hired to do. There'd have to be financial compensation for throwing such an early curveball at you.
May I ask how much?
Why don't I ask you?
I'm sorry, this is just... I'm having a hard time even comprehending this right now.
I'm throwing a lot at you right now, I understand. Let's start with how much you would need in order to consider this new position suitable.
I guess another 2,000?
A month?
A year?
A month.
A month?
It's yours.
Really?
If you agree to these new responsibilities, yes, absolutely. Also, I don't want you to think you cannot refuse. I'm not going to fire you if you don't.
I appreciate that, thank you.
So, you'd have this whole facility as your personal domain, an extra 2,000 a month, and all while still getting to help people. It's a pretty good deal, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
So, what do you say?
We have come to the end of this chapter, and a decision must be made. To accept the new position, listen to Erin Chapter 4A. To refuse the new position, listen to Erin Chapter 4B. The part of Dr. Erin Barrett was played by Abby Anderson. The part of Sheriff Maddock was played by A.J. Mastrangeli. The part of Mayor Carmichael was played by Kelsey Carroll. The part of Professor Kelleher was played by Josh Portera. The part of Jace Jarasak was played by Robert Palecchio. Original music provided by A.J. Mastrangeli. Mixing and editing by Max Silverman. Life in Sonderville was written by Mark Swift and produced by O the Fool. Thank you for listening to Life in Sonderville.